Good morning. It's July 5th. Hopefully, you've had your barbecue, your pool time, or beach time. Unfortunately, you probably heard a bit of fireworks, might have kept you up a little bit like me. So, we're here to bring you back to the markets. What's been going on? What have you missed? And how technically you can be seeing some key exposures in your portfolios or things that you might be thinking about. So, I'm going to head over to Longbow right now to the dashboard and go over a few things. There was a thoughtful guest on Real Vision today, so you might have been listening to that. So I've given you on the bottom of the dashboard 3 tickers. So he had recommended 3 securities. It was Brazil, oil and gas, gold shares. So if you've watched and listened to our arrows, we talked a little bit about some of these things and being a bit careful because you are getting some production cuts in energy on the short term. But the other piece of note that you should be putting all these things together like a puzzle is that China growth has been slowed. There's some issues, obviously, in the real estate sector. They're really trying to get the banks to be loaning more, but people are saving a ton. So consumer spend is down. So when you're looking at Brazil, it's kind of neutral short term, bullish intermediate term. That's one of the securities that was mentioned. You can kind of see we've had a rebound, kind of like the Nasdaq here, since the first quarter ending. It is an area that we are long. My team as well. We're a bit more careful though on their oil and gas call. It is bullish short term, neutral medium term, but we'd say got to be a little bit careful. It's about the demand cycle as well as the supply. But we really want to be seeing some more bottoming and growth around the world before we're heading into that to even be equal weighting it. Gold, though, we have been long, but a really small starter position. And so until we can get a sense that the dollar is going to be depreciating, and if you listen to our friends at 42 Macro, that's not their call, that they see a strong dollar continuing for a while, we're going to be hesitant to pull heavily into this call. So if you look at gold here, it had a run. You made your money probably alongside us, but then it's been weak. And if you look at that versus the dollar, it'll tell you why. So we're going to be a bit careful before going into a couple of the plays mentioned today in the morning on Real Vision. But I want to kind of go through some other things that we talked about in our Longbow arrows. Talked a little bit about the market. It is bullish, but we also talked about risks. So if I'm going back to the Doomsday Dozen today, guess what? Remember, we hit back down. Well, now we're back up. So it does make sense that this morning you're seeing some red in the markets. So be careful out there. If you don't have your risk management hat on, if you're not protecting your positions, when everybody else is being greedy, that's when you should be thinking about picking up cheaper protection or trimming your positions. Tech obviously has been bullish short term and medium term. It's call it in the middle top end of the range. So you have 3-to-1 downsides. So today's not the day to be going into that. And then we're looking at China large cap, obviously a bit hurt overnight. It's become more neutral short term though, bearish medium term because it's really come down from the reopening play that we've seen. And that's a little bit more -1-to-1. So an even bet on China. But we put this together for you to say, okay, pick your places around the world. You don't want to be too early, number one, but then two, you don't want to stay too late to any party going on. So when everybody else is partying and maybe they're nursing their hangover today, you're seeing some better time to risk manage your portfolio. We're giving you the signals to tell you to do so. So that's my job here today, bright and early with my coffee, to give you that kind of message so that you can start off July right, so second half 2023 right for your portfolio, whether it's for your own account or for your clients. Take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.